Good morning, folks. It's Waylon Lewis from Boulder, Colorado, and I am here for you. Just setting up the camera, and I slept very well last night, unlike the night before, so I feel slightly better, although I have not yet got myself together. But I'm here. I've been reading and tweeting. I hope you guys follow me if you like on twitter.com/elephantjournal. Not because I care about followers. Honestly, we get almost no clicks or anything from Twitter, but because I'm sharing really good stuff. I'm sharing the stuff I'm reading and thinking and talking about with people. Twitter.com/elephantjournal. We've been named #1 in the country twice nationally for green environmental content on Twitter nationally. So what's really hitting me today are two things. One, there's the sort of bigotry level. New York Times has an article, "We have just elected a bigot." That is not an attack. That is kind of a statement of fact, given his history and his actions. I think the most powerful ads by Hillary Clinton were just the ones that just had him talking, his own quotes played back. And the fear and the questions we were getting in the video yesterday, we're going to put the video in the comments, where people, a Muslim American commenter said, "Should I go buy a red hat so I don't feel like I'm going to get attacked?" 2 women wearing burqas were attacked on college campuses yesterday. There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of fear in the U.S., and the good and the bad news is that is warranted. This is an incredibly unique event. This is not a Bush or a Romney. This is not an Obama or a Bill Clinton. This is not even a Reagan or a Nixon or a Ford or a Carter. This is Donald Trump with his alt-right Breitbart fans. Breitbart is a news site that loves fake news, loves hype, and makes Fox News genuinely look reasonable and moderate. That is an insane statement that I just made. Trump is his campaign director, co-campaign director, is the head of Breitbart News, and they are coming for everything that many of us hold dear. And there's going to be some raping and pillaging going on at a governmental level by the most powerful man in America. Solar energy, wind, healthcare, covering 20 million Americans instead of improving and fixing it, gutting it, lowering taxes on the rich, which will balloon our debt. You think our deficit or debt has been rough. Those are two different things, but we ain't seen nothing yet. It is going to be a party in the grand old party. So I'm here to discuss any of this, just get our feelings out, get our thoughts out, try and bring things back to a fact-based level so that we can act on similar facts with inspiration. And if you haven't given a like or love, let's remember that coming together in community and figuring out what to do together, whether we're conservative or liberal. I have conservative moderate tendencies, but I am a progressive or liberal. But, this is not good news, and we can't put lipstick on the pig. We can't whitewash what's happening. We have to face the facts. So there's a 3-point plan for how to deal with this election. One is face the facts. Don't ignore them. Don't relapse or lapse into positivity and pretend it's not happening. That's like suppressing or ignoring. That's not good in therapy. It's not good in being an adult. It's not good in running a country. It's not good in being a citizen. So face the facts. Number 2, feel the feelings, feel the fear, feel the anger, feel, if you're a Trump fan, feel the happiness. And then 3, we'll get to that, but 3, my hope is that we can come at this with renewed joy and renewed vigor and renewed purpose. If we can use this election to inspire a sense of joy and purpose. Joy is found in service and thinking about others, not ourselves. So if you're just tuning in, say where you're from, It's always fun to see people from all over the country. Please share this, editor on duty, to like 20 pages, not just 11. Let's get it out there to our 5 million Facebook fans. And yesterday we did a video that was really powerful. I felt like it was by far our biggest video ever. A lot of people came together. We've actually had bigger videos, but it was the most popular in a short period of time. And, you know, I got to cry on camera 4 times. So if you want to see Waylon cry, that video is in the comments, and that's your chance. But seriously, there were some really powerful comments from our viewers, including a lady who said, I had a pre-existing condition. I'm now covered under Obamacare for the first time, and I'm scared because my 8-year-old is depending on me. And, you know, there were heartbreaking comments like that. So we are heading into a rough period of time, and we're going to feel the after effects of that period of time for a long time. In the immortal words of Kurt Vonnegut about Vietnam and Nixon, he said an entire country came together, you know, the working class, artists, everyone, to protest what was happening, killing, you know, letting our young men die for a war that had no real purpose. And he said, and the power of everyone coming together was like the power of a custard pie dropped from 10 feet, meaning maybe not that much. So on the other hand, Seth Meyers did a great video yesterday, the talk show host, where he cried a little bit. And he and Samantha Bee, others have observed that there will be a first woman president in the U.S., and she's hopefully alive already, and hopefully already a senator or in office of some sort. Or last night or the day before was inspired, and that was a galvanizing moment. So this can be a galvanizing moment for many of us to find our service, our joy in that service, and our purpose in that joyful service. Yeah, so Christy, there's 2 ways to approach fear. Fear is part of life. If you're on a cliff, you're going to be afraid of falling sometimes. So a lot of people are saying, don't ignore the fear, forget the fear. Fear is bad. Fear is not bad. As FDR said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. So that's sort of confusing. But the only thing we have to be afraid of is being afraid of the fear. Feeling fear is just like feeling anger or joy or love. It's just a feeling. Fear is data. Fear is intelligence. We can listen to it, but we don't need to be ruled by it, as you yourself said. So that's great. So the Buddhist path to fear is to feel the fear, breathe through it, and go into it with open, kind of vulnerable bravery, and then you can experience genuine fearlessness. So the way to deal with this Trump thing, if you do feel fearful, whether because you're Muslim American or you have Obamacare or you care about our environment, Trump just put, this guy is not wasting time or effing around. He just put a guy who basically doesn't believe in climate change and really thinks that the EPA should be destroyed and cut. He put him in charge of the EPA transition. For any of you who care about clear, clean air and good water, like not what we have in half of America's cities now, Flint, Michigan, and many other cities have water that you can't drink. We have water problems here in Boulder, Colorado, which is a liberal, affluent town overall. So if anyone cares about the EPA, we're in real trouble, folks. So it's good to look at the fear, go into the fear, face the facts, and then we can walk into fearlessness. And that's what we'll talk about today. So if you have any questions, I'm here for you. If your questions are aggressive or jerky, we may block you. If you have critical questions, however, that is welcome. So part of our role here is to agree to disagree. If we do disagree, we can be agreeable in our disagreement. We are all Americans here. And if you're tuning in from overseas, we are all basically good human beings who care. And the U.S. is powerful enough that it is a world power. So it really is relevant is the word I like, relevant to the entire world. This isn't just a little banana republic where, people can ignore us. We have a military the size of the next 10 combined. Also in the news is that the Russians are openly saying they were in frequent contact with the Trump campaign. They said, of course, we know the entire Trump campaign. So imagine if Obama was in that situation or any liberal. It's amazing. All right. Lisa McBride, good morning. Ellie from Spokane, Washington. Say where you're from, folks. Amy, Salt Lake City. Carol, New Jersey. Abby, good morning. Lynette. Tustin, Leslie, hey. Oh, Lindsay's on. Wow. So Lindsay, if you can put in the 3 links, maybe you already did. One, my video from yesterday, which I think was incredibly powerful and helpful, I think, for myself and for all of us, hopefully. And then my article, which is very short, which kind of lists sort of what we're facing and then what we can do about it. And it was titled, There Is One Good Thing About a President Trump. And that went somewhat viral yesterday. I think 70,000 people or something have read it. And if you're inspired by it, if you can share it, because right now we have to come together. That's the only thing we got. We have to come together, and we have to find a way to be of genuine benefit to our society, our commonwealth. Please give a like or a love to this video if you're feeling it, and help this video get out beyond the algorithm, out beyond the choir, to all those who may not know about Elephant or this video or this message, which hopefully is not one of liberal versus conservative, but of coming together to protect this country that we love, and to hopefully, Trump doesn't owe anything to the Republican Party. He did it without the much support. Hopefully he, as some people will say, he will just chart his own course. I personally kind of doubt it. I think he enjoys kind of being a big guy, and I think all the little people around him will make a lot of stuff happen. So we'll see. Lindsay, yeah, there's my link. There is one good thing about a President Trump. Chloe, good afternoon. And Lindsay, it's morning here. Where are you? Kimberly, why do we continue to allow the Electoral College to exist? I mean, we have a lot of problems governmentally. We all love our founding fathers and we love our Constitution. There's a great article on Bloomberg, I believe, about various democracies and how they're run, New Zealand being a model for something that makes a lot of sense. The Electoral College had a good reason when it was created. A larger problem than the Electoral College is gerrymandering. So guys, we don't have to wait 4 years. We only have to wait 2 years. The midterm elections are going to determine, say, 50% of all the gerrymandering in the U.S. If you like or support that, please give it a like or love. Let's get this video out there. Gerrymandering is where you can take all the blacks or all the Latinos or all the liberals or all the whatever and bunch them into one weird, it's called mander, like salamander, like weird little shape in your state, so that they win that weird shape, but they don't win anything else. So there's many states, Republicans and Democrats alike shouldn't be allowed to do this. Both parties have done this, but overall it's very Republican right now. Democrats are getting a popular vote frequently everywhere on the state level as well as the national level with Hillary, and yet losing the election. Christy, why do people have to just jump on the hate bandwagon? I don't understand. I don't understand. Christy, if you can explain which hate bandwagon. You mean hating Trump or Trump hating just about every other group I can think of? Honestly, don't understand. Just tell me more and I shall answer. All right, there's another blog. I don't know what that's about, but it sounds good. If you need a little love right now, let's come to... Oh, that's my video from yesterday, I think. Amber, Waylon, what can you do to help put good vibes out there? Good vibes are overrated. I would say genuine vibes are important. How can we help in general so we aren't sitting around stagnant over the next 4 years? I need ideas. So read that article, Amber. That's exactly what I wrote about. The ideas are kind of up to you and your path and your service and your right livelihood, but the path to getting to a point of genuine inspiration and action is what I write about in that article. So please read that and share it if you find it helpful. I am struggling too. Kim from the Netherlands. A lot of questions about the Electoral College. Yeah, the Electoral College had good reasons for being created. I don't think it's the major problem. I do think gerrymandering, which we can begin to fix in the midterm elections, is a bigger problem. We have a lot of problems with our voting system right now, and the Electoral College is certainly wildly imperfect. Our videos, if you appreciate these videos, please give a like or a love to Nutso, which is a woman-owned organic nut butter company and seed. There's like 8 nuts and seeds. I'm giving a shout out. They're our sponsor. They make these videos possible. It's woman and family owned, independent, all organic, great sense of vegan protein, especially for the vegan types out there. I think I've eaten 4 this month, and with a little help from Redford at the very end, I give them the jar. And it's in glass, not plastic. 7 seed and nut butter. Check it out. I genuinely, personally love it, and we only work with sponsors who we genuinely, personally love. We're not into selling out. Ellie, these are my facts. I'm choosing mindfulness. I'm paying attention to my own responses without judgment of others. Well, Ellie, as I've talked about many times, judgment of others is not a problem. Prejudgment of others is the problem. Prejudgment is prejudice, right? Prejudge, prejudice. So you can judge, like in the justice system, you can judge an apple. You can say, this is an organic apple, this is a rotten GMO apple, and I'm going to eat the organic. So there's nothing wrong with having discriminating wisdom or insight and seeing things as they are. So there's nothing wrong with judging Trump on his actions or Hillary on her actions, but you have to go with the facts, not this fake news stuff. So if you feel like Elephant is helpful in your life, or New York Times, try and find good journalism, sites that care about facts. I am liberal, news at 11, but if I am more than welcoming to any conservative friends, any Trump fans who want to write about their thoughts or feelings or views in a thoughtful way. elephantjournal.com/submit is our URL for writing. To continue with Ellie, be aware of what is, but by no means withdraw. Wonderful. Help others who are distracted and remind people to engage in what is positive rather than negative. I don't agree with that, but that's fine. There's a lot of positivity, kind of, it's what I call gated community spirituality. It's good to be a positive, forward-looking person, but there is a lot of negative that is going on, and there's nothing negative about looking at the negative. That's called just having your eyes open. It's actually positive to look openly and fearlessly at fear or at negative stuff that's happening. That's where empathy comes from. Empathy, as we know, is the most powerful human emotion. If you look at the homeless situation, if you look at families in need of food, instead of avoiding what might be sort of negative or horrible, a lot of people who don't care about animal rights, it's because they can't look at that stuff. They don't want to look at those horrible videos of animals being imprisoned for their fur, that kind of thing. And I get it. It's painful to look at that stuff. I watch like 10 seconds or 30 seconds of those videos and I want to vomit and cry. But they're happening. So it's important to look, at least try. And then what naturally arises is something beautiful, not ugly, not negative. It's compassion. It's empathy. And then it's action based on compassion and empathy. Action not based on hate, but on empathy, is transformative. That's what Martin Luther King talked about again and again and again. To continue with your comment, if you look for the negative, you will always surely find it. No one can rob me of my inner peace if I let them, and it's not worth it. I want to reduce the noise within my own head because it clouds my personal vision and dims my ability to respond in an effective manner to what is going on around me and to others who may need a smile or word of encouragement. I want to be. People don't need a fake smile based on ignoring negative stuff. They need your genuine smile. And I like a lot of your logic. It's beautiful, and you're a really positive person. But I think, honestly, be brave and kind enough to your own heart and to others to breathe into what's happening. And destroying the EPA, destroying healthcare for 20 million Americans, possibly getting into wars at the drop of a hat, given this man's proximity to, he's the commander-in-chief. He's in charge of our military. The man who said his sacrifice in working hard and building buildings with a little $14 million loan from his father is equivalent to those who serve in the military, is now in charge of our military. So if you take anything away from today, please take the courage to breathe into your fear, to breathe into your wanting to ignore what's happening. We can't put our head in the sand. We're not ostriches. Vicky, can we try to get the Electoral College to not vote for him and take a stand against him as a racist tyrant? That's one reason that the Electoral College was put into place. That is kind of why it was put into place, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we need to put our energy into just on the third party question, because we did this in 2002 and in 2000 as well, too. And we got 8 years of Bush. So I respect anyone who votes far more than anyone who doesn't vote. But if you're going to vote and you lodge a protest vote, you're almost always voting for the man as you view it, which is one of the two evils. So if you're going to vote for the lesser of two evils. That's actually kind of a beautiful thing. This world isn't perfect. You have to vote for who's going to win, who has a chance to win, and who is going to do the most good. Hillary Clinton was saddled with the most progressive platform in history, and now she's over. And you know why she's over? Because Democrats didn't turn out, liberals didn't turn out, progressives didn't turn out, young people didn't turn out. It's on us. There's no way the White House is going to honor a petition to overturn the vote. It didn't happen in 2000. It's not going to happen now. I think the best we can do is to read my article, please, face all the facts, and then find real purpose. Use this as a inspiration to find purpose in your life. And that's a beautiful, wonderful, powerful thing. And that's happened in what I would view as a tragedy, every tragedy in U.S. history, whether it's 9/11 or what. There's a lot of silver lining. A lot of people are newly inspired to be a benefit in these tough times. But Vicky, great question. Noel, hey from Maryland, you are rock, Waylon. Thank you. Chloe, if I'm honest, I don't know much about politics, let alone U.S. politics. I love honesty. Cheers to that. Do you think the rest of the world, especially the U.S., UK, should be concerned about your election results? How will this affect us over here in Scotland? Yeah, I think I've already answered that, Chloe, but we have the world's most powerful military, very powerful economy. We now have someone who's going to basically, rob the bank. He's going to go in, give away tax breaks, huge tax breaks to the rich, to the very rich. Our debt's going to go insane. And, I think housing investments are kind of a questionable thing suddenly, because I think it's going to be rough, like the housing bubble we had in the W. Bush years. I think this is going to be a rough time economically. And I think it's okay to face the facts and look ahead to what we're sailing into. We need to batten down the hatches, and we need to find our purpose and help as Callie, I think it was, and really find ways to encourage and help one another. Community is going to be huge right now, and not hateful, angry community, but communities based on empathy, based on helping these people who no longer have health care, who helping people who are no longer protected by the EPA. They have pollution in their air or their water. Half this world has air they can barely breathe. They can't breathe. They're literally buying bottled air in China now from Canada. We don't have that problem because we have the EPA. So please try and support the EPA. It's going to need it, because the Republicans have open called to get rid of it. Michigan, Sharon, Sheila, Sonoma County, Sarah, I love your comment. I want everyone to feel all the feels. Feel the pain, feel the hurt, feel the fear, but don't remain there. Exactly. It's like Louis C.K. said, or Buddhism says, if you can feel the feelings, that is bravery and kindness to yourself. Feel them, and then you can cry, and then you can talk, and then you can process. You can be honest, and then you can then you can discover joy and purpose and go forward. But don't fake it. You know, the stiff upper lip that the British tried, suppressing any kind of weird issues, not talking about it, is very similar to positivity. I am not a fan of positivity. Being positive is wonderful. Positivity sounds like a nice word because it's got positive in it. But positivity is fundamentally about trying to gather good stuff for yourself and push away anything bad or toxic or challenging or, that's not an adult way to live life. I'm happy to discuss that more. I've discussed it a lot. Christy from Florida. Hey, Waylon. Florida, you broke my heart. Sarah, Minneapolis, yo. Minneapolis, great town. Millie, I am terrified, devastated, concerned for our environment, my personal rights to my body. Yeah, the Supreme Court, that's going to determine our future for 30 years. So if you are a woman or you know a woman or you respect a woman, the woman's right to choice is in some real danger now. For the first time, I would say, in a couple generations. How do we stay here in a country that feels like it is going down in a blaze? Well, just what we said. Feel those feelings. Feel it. Feel that terror, that devastation. Breathe deep. I mean, in the Buddhist tradition, we would practice meditation. So you feel everything, you think everything, and then you come back to the present moment again and again. You train yourself to be present, and then you can be in any situation. That's fearlessness. You can be anywhere, and you can just feel grounded and cheerful, fundamentally A-okay, and you can be helpful. But yeah, we're in some real doggy doo-doo. Lauren, sending love from Colorado Springs. Love to you. Hey, Heather, Steph, hey from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Wendy, been a rough week here at my house. My hubby is Republican light, and although he doesn't like Trump as a person, he thinks he will be good for the country. I don't get this whole thing. I mean, Obama helped us come out of the worst recession in U.S. history since the Great Depression. 15 million jobs. Did some good stuff. Anyway, I am a liberal who voted for Bernie, and I think Trump will be a disaster for the country. You voted for Bernie in the election? I mean, Bernie himself said vote for Hillary. I was a Bernie supporter, but yeah, I mean, it's rough. That's what's beautiful, Wendy, is that there's Republicans and Democrats like yourself who love each other, who are married to each other, have to work this stuff out. I think that's beautiful, and I understand if you have a huge fight. This is rough. So just be kind to each other and to yourself right now this week, because but that's what's beautiful. We need to talk more. We need to get together more. I would encourage you and your husband to watch this video with Van Jones when he visits a living room, a house of a bunch of Trump fans. And they have a very honest, feisty, but also kind of loving conversation. It might be therapeutic for you too. Sarah, hey from Indianapolis. Hey, Amber, I think we should feel it and feel it completely and then use that energy to get into the warrior mindset. Yes. We don't have to be victims. Yes. And get some great things moving along. Grassroots style. Amber, I'm in love with you. Amber, your comment epitomizes what I wrote about and the Shambhala book. If any of you need some good inspiration or guidance right now, there's a book about warriorship and how to relate to fear in your own life called Shambhala. And that is in my blog, 10 Best Buddhist Books. The other thing that really tilted the election here was fake news, that people can read news that they agree with instead of news that is fact-based that they might disagree with. When we put up blogs on Elephant that people disagree with now, people hate us. They say, I'm unfollowing you, I hate Elephant, you've disappointed me. That's ridiculous. Elephant should have different points of view all the time. We don't need to surround ourselves with yes men and agree all the time and have fake news. The ultimate flowering of needing to always agree with whatever I see is fake news, because you can't always reality will not always echo what I already think. So the only news that could echo what I already think would have to be fake with the facts. So one of the most powerful things all of you can do in a concrete way is never read a super liberal site, never read a super conservative site. Read journalism. Read real, independent, mindful journalism. I would like to think Elephant is that. We will happily accept Trump articles, conservative articles, liberal articles, progressive articles, elephantjournal.com/submit. But I do think many sites are better, mainly the New York Times. I think their op-ed page is obviously somewhat liberal, but they'll have conservatives on there. And their journalism is amazing. And right now they're going through layoffs. Journalists are real kind of warriors and servants for truth, for Americans. And we need to be there for them. Sorry, my battery is running out. So we need to be there for journalists right now. So subscribe to your local paper. Subscribe. Give them $1. It's only $1 a month to get unlimited reads on Elephant Journal right now. Stacia, a lot has already happened. Maybe you're not reading the news like a political nerd, but a lot has already happened. So you say, how do you know it's going to be worse? Nothing has happened yet. A lot has already happened. Yeah, I'm happy to fill you in there, but just read some journalism. Trump is not sitting around twiddling his fingers, and even if he was, his, Steve Bannon or whatever his name is, Stephen Bannon of Breitbart News and all Rudy Giuliani's, I had a dream 2 nights ago that we had let the fox into the chicken coop, and the chicken coop was America and the women I care about and the men and basically like my family. This is going to be, I think we're walking into I don't want to bum people out, but I think we're walking into a situation that's equivalent to, as a friend of mine said, equivalent to those cowboy westerns where the bad guys arrive at a house and the wife is there with the children, but the men are all gone, and there's some raping and pillaging that's going to happen. And I think that's what's going to happen. Obviously, what we can do is, and I hope you read my blog, that's in the links in the comments, we can do a lot, and we have to, right now. But to ignore what's happening or to make light of it, that's not a solution. Love is caring, and caring right now might feel painful. That might be a little quote for you, Lindsay. Christy, fear is ruling everything. We don't really know what is going to happen. We actually already know what is going to happen. Or what is happening, I should say. Why be ruled by fear? I think I answered that one. May and Trump could be the next Blair and Bush. That's a terrifying thought. Looked how that turned out. Yeah, or it could be far worse. I mean, Trump makes Bush look like a kind of moderate, nice guy. Carly, today I totally stalked your Facebook page and shared your video of the high school protest. Cool. Yeah, I videoed this. All these students in Boulder walked out of school and protested yesterday. And even if a lot of people in the comments were saying, who cares? It was very inspiring and it was very beautiful. And you're seeing the beginning of hundreds of children, young people, college students all over the U.S. beginning to care and realizing they have to care. And that we can't just take people like Hillary for granted. I was called multiple vile names by a stranger because I shared it. I reacted for probably the first time online before taking a breath to respond, and my response hurt a friend of mine. I cannot believe I fell into that trap. Need to take more moments to breathe and respond mindfully rather than just hitting back just as hard. It helps no one. I love your comment. That's beautiful. Please write about that, Carly. If you go to elephantjournal.com/submit, there's the Buddhist saying is aggression feeds aggression. So if you want more aggression in the world, be aggressive. So as you say, it never works. You just have to, we have to breathe. You can be honest, like I was talking about with judgment, but we can't fall into hate. I don't hate Trump. I don't hate Breitbart. I don't hate any of this stuff. I am incredibly concerned. And everyone, who wants to see that Facebook video, it is on facebook.com/Waylon Lewis. Exactly, Victoria. We're still letting our young men die. It's not just our young men. It's tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of civilians from other countries who are dying in the various wars we've jumped into. Sheila, there will be a first female president, but I will do all I can to make sure that person is never Jill Stein. Well, I think you're safe in that. Dominic, Waylon tuned in I tuned in yesterday. Beautiful video, helped ease my mind. You guys helped ease my mind, and also just connecting and caring and crying is powerful. I ran into this, needless to say, white guy yesterday in the grocery store who was saying, people need to toughen up and stop whining. You're like, this is our nation and our country, and we really care about it. And it's actually kind of, you're sort of wimpy if you can't look at people's concern right now. So the whole machismo thing is ridiculous. All right, but bring up Pema Chodron's When Things Fall Apart. Yeah, so that's a wonderful book. That's also in my top 10 Buddhist books worth reading. And it's definitely apt for right now. Jessica, how do I talk to my friends and relatives who support and voted for that vile SOB? It makes me sick that they don't care how racist and hateful he is and voted for him anyway. Where is their moral compass? Well, they are simply, maybe they don't care, in which case that is pretty sad. I wouldn't say vile. I would not use aggressive language, ideally. But it is super sad. But many people are just making the political calculation that they wanted, a Republican in there for the Supreme Court picks and all that, and they didn't care if it was even someone like Trump. So a lot of people don't really like Trump who voted for Trump. But it sounds like they like him. I mean, that's pretty intense stuff he's done. And now he can do it on a large scale. So I think all we can do with those who we vehemently disagree with is to be a little less vehement and to really try and create some conversation. Because let's face it, in our own lives, we've all learned things the hard way because people took the time to talk with us instead of just prejudging us. Sharon, Elizabeth Warren in 2020. I'm with you on that. I think a lot of America would be. Noonie, New York native here, Florida resident now. I want to say that people are allowing the results of this election to drain them emotionally. I disagree. I think if you're not emotional right now, you're sticking your head in the sand. No, not everyone deserves respect. Respect is earned. Someone who, has used the middle class and played the middle class and, been accused of rape and sexual assault again and again and, never worked for anything and thinks he, made greater sacrifices than our military and speaks the way he speaks about immigrants and anything that is other, African Americans, Muslims and Muslims Americans, I don't think he deserves my respect, but I'm happy for him to earn it, and I will respect Trump the second that he begins to earn it. Also, one pro tip, all caps with lots of exclamation marks on Facebook. Just sounds like you're shouting. It doesn't make me hear it better. Sarah, I am wondering about, I don't know what Vicky's thought was, but hopefully I answered it. There's a blog by myself or a video there giving you bad advice on what to do about fear. So if you're feeling fear right now, or if you're trying to stay away from feeling fear, you could check out that video. All right. People from all over, super cool to see. Everywhere in this wonderful nation. And abroad, Tunisia. Hello, Usema. Yeah, amen, Linnea. I've grown up in Boulder my whole life like you, and I've always loved the certain buzz and energy there is about it. I did move away for a long time, but yeah, I did grow up here. Yesterday morning was the first time I've ever felt Boulder at a standstill. You could feel everyone being stunned at the news. So heartbreaking. Feels gut-wrenching. Thank you for being a voice of reason and sense. Boulder love, love, love. Love to you. Linnea. All right. Any other questions? Rolando, great question. Do you think reading a lot of news about the election is kind of scaring people? Some people are in fear for their future. How do you handle it? Yeah, so middle way on that. It's not good to read no news and ignore stuff and put your head in the sand, but it's also not good to be on your phone all the time in bed freaking out. Keep your phone away from your bed. Give yourself a chance to be in nature, go for a walk, be with your dog, be with your family, meditate, take care of yourself. It's not good to do either extreme. So for myself, I meditate, I take my dog out. I don't meditate for a long time, just a couple minutes until I'm kind of present with my breath instead of my thoughts. And you know, be good to yourself right now. Like last night I had some coconut bliss ice cream, and I tried to watch some dumb movie and I fell asleep. I'm just exhausted. I haven't been sleeping that much, and yeah. Yeah, Terry, had more people been involved in the voting process, could it have been swayed to the other party? Of course. Yeah. I just tweeted that on twitter.com/elephantjournal, a chart showing how low the turnout was for Hillary, which, you know, some of that is Hillary. As she says herself, she's not this sort of charismatic politician like Obama or Bill Clinton, but a lot of it was the sort of taking 8 years of Obama for granted and people voting for Gary or putting in a protest vote, whatever it is. And a lot of people are kind of like, let's see what happens with Trump, which I think is an insane attitude when it comes to the most powerful country on earth. Good morning, Marine, to Manchester, Connecticut. Love your comment, Jennifer. I'm genuine in my feelings. I admit being angry. Yeah, it's fine to feel all the feelings. It's fine to feel anger, but you don't then need to dwell in it. You can kind of, as they say in Buddhism, you touch and go. So you touch the anger and then you come back to the present moment. I love this comment. Heather, this is a practical adult comment. I hope you all went out and voted. I hope today everyone is fired up and angry. I hope you channel these feelings into changing the system, having your voice heard. I hope you stand up when you witness injustice, because the system is expecting us to be complacent and apathetic and continue that status quo, allowing hate to reign. I hope you know I will stand up for what is right. I will stand up for the oppressed, the minorities, the overlooked. I will stand for you because I'm with you. That was beautiful. Have you pre-written that or did you just write that? If you want to send that into elephantjournal.com/submit, I would love it. Yeah, Jamelia, great question. What can we do to make these protests more peaceful? The protest here in Boulder is very peaceful and very beautiful and very cheerful. I was wearing my Make Obama, maybe I don't have it, but my Make Obama President Again hat, and everyone loved the hat. Us more laid-back Democrats who desperately wanted Hillary to be president were now stunned that violence is outbreaking. I haven't read about violence, but there's never an excuse for violence. Burning the American flag is ridiculous. The American flag is a symbol of democracy and of our right to free speech and free assembly and protest and dissent. Burning that, it doesn't make sense. If you want to burn a photo of Trump or a photo of Hillary, I guess that makes sense. I think you're kind of a jerk, but it makes sense. Burning the flag, I mean, you have the right to do it, but it's crazy. You're burning the symbol of your right to burn the symbol. Here we go. So yeah, I think violence in protest just creates further aggression and violence. I don't think that's helpful. There's a long tradition of non-violence civil disobedience, which is really beautiful and it's much more macho in my mind. It's much harder. It's very easy to loot and rage, but it's kind of egotistical and not helpful. You're not helping. You're just hurting the wrong people. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I do think it's good to come together and get behind Trump, as Obama said, in the hope that he is a great and fair and kind president. and I am behind Trump. He is my president in that sense. But if he is unjust, if he is cruel, if he is aggressive, if he is wild and undisciplined in terms of foreign wars or the economy or healthcare, I also have the right to protest that and to work against that. That might be a quote for you, Lindsay. All right. I think I'm going to... So many comments. Well, if I missed your comment, please share it tomorrow. We can't have these videos go for like 3 hours. So, big love to all of you. And let it be genuine love. I'm going to wrap up now. Please support Nutso. They're the only reason we can do these videos. Or Jade Yoga Mat, which is not PVC. Most people do yoga are doing yoga on toxic mats that are toxic for their children and pets and themselves. At the bottom, in the comments, you can get our link to subscribe to all these videos on YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow. I do these 5 days a week. So if I missed your question, come back tomorrow. Let's all give a heart or a love or a like or a comment of love and support to one another. Let's feel some love for 1 minute and meditate. So if you want to take a good posture, do that. You can kind of relax your sit bones and ground. I'm going to teach basic Buddhist meditation right now. Take a deep breath, root your sit bones, extend your posture, almost like Superman, superhero posture, and then relax. Feel any tension in your body and breathe into it with your eyes open, downcast, and your hands on your thighs. Just simple posture. Find your breath in and out. Please join me if so inspired. This is more helpful even than talking about stuff. We're actually going to practice coming back from our fear and our craziness to the present moment. So find your breath in and out. If you find yourself thinking about lunch or Trump, about anything good or bad, about fear, about your body feeling tight or something, you can label that, you can notice that, and just say, I'm thinking about the protests, I'm thinking about Trump, I'm thinking about my spine feels really tight. Thinking, return your attention to your breath. Thinking, breathe. So breathe in and out. And that's it. So you can practice that for 2 to 5 minutes. Big love to you guys. No, that's not, Jones Tom, that's not what the Buddha said about things in life. Let it go is, I've written about letting it go. Lindsay, if you can put the letting it, sometimes letting go is very difficult and painful and real. You don't just let go of everything. You don't, if you're a parent and your kid is annoying, you don't just let your kid go and leave. Letting go is not some spiritual materialism, spiritual light advice, Jones Tom. Letting go is a real process that actually means something. And you are right that letting go of attachment is important. All right. Thank you so much for all your comments. Mwah! And big love to all of you. As soon as I hang up, you'll see a button in the middle if you want to get notifications